Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. This is your preview of Larne against Shamrock Rovers in the UEFA Conference League. And I suppose, Sean, whenever a team from the league in the north, which is essentially called the Irish League, and the league in the south, which is essentially called the League of Ireland, occurs, it's always an interesting one, isn't it? It's always kind of people put a barometer on it to say which is the best league, you know what I mean, etc., etc. We've got champions against champions here too. Remember, Larne, the champions of the Irish League, and Shamrock Rovers, the champions of the League of Ireland. Larne are seventh in their league at the moment as we speak. Anyway, I don't think they're playing now. They won't be playing another game. Obviously, this is Monday, but they're a bit off the leaders. Linfield are top with 26 points. Larne are on 15 points. They do have 3 games in hand, but of course they had Ronan Hale, who we all know from the League of Ireland there last year, who was superb. He's playing with Wraith now and doing quite well. Is it Wraith or Ross County, actually? I always get them confused. It's Wraith, isn't it?
It is right, I think,
It
yeah.
is Wraith. I always get them confused. There won't be many Scottish people watching this. Bet you there's one.
No,
Let us know
probably
in
get
the
away with it.
comments if you're Scottish, please. Just one person's enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's look, it's always an interesting one. Sam Todd's on loan from Derry City, so there's players that we know of from League of Ireland quarters, if you like, too, and you know they did well last season in the league. They obviously done brilliantly to win the league. This game's at Windsor Park in Belfast, in case anyone didn't know. That's not Larne's home ground. It's on Thursday. It's a 17:45 kickoff, interestingly as well. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people might say Shamrock Rovers should be winning this game. They're probably expected to win the game, but Larne at home, as such, would be well up for this game, I feel. They lost to Molde in the last round 3-0, whereas Shamrock Rovers drew 1-1 at home to Applewell. Overall, how are you seeing this, and how do you see, you know, the scenario of a team up north in the Irish League playing a League of Ireland team?
It'll be very interesting to see what the gap is like. I think the fact that they're both league champions means that we're going to get a really good idea of sort of the overall strength of the league. I would expect Shamrock Rovers, regardless of whether or not they win, to dominate possession and to have most of the ball, create most of the chances, I think.
Yeah.
And I think from a Larne perspective, this is the game, I think, that because they had a bad loss, as you mentioned, to Molde on the opening match day of the Conference League. So if they're going to get any points at all from the Conference League, they're going to be looking at this game and saying it's at home. Shamrock Rovers aren't leagues better than them. So this is a winnable game for them.
And you also feel, Sean, that if Larne had a choice to win a match, you know what I mean, overall, generally, it'd probably be Shamrock Rovers. I always feel with these fixtures when they play that the team in the Irish League is nearly more up for it or feeling like they've more to prove than the League of Ireland team, I feel.
Yeah. Usually that is the case, yeah. It hasn't happened a lot recently that you have got this kind of thing. I mean, the last game I can think of similar to this was Cork City played Linfield nearly 10 years ago, I think, in the Europa League qualifiers. And that was the last time I can really think of that a game like this
in actual
happened.
European competition, as opposed to
like a competitive game is supposed to say a friendly or something.
Yeah,
where Derry
or
State
Cup or something like that. You know what I mean?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, but yeah, no. So it's a very interesting game, but I think if Rovers don't win this game, they'll be very disappointed. I would expect them to, on the basis of the opening match day performances, because I would have thought. I don't think Larne did not get as good of a draw as Rovers got. They got some tougher games, I thought. They didn't get a glamour tide. Like the team they got in Part A was Ghent, I think, Belgian team.
I think Rovers' group is if you like, but it's very well balanced.
It's very well. It's like they couldn't have asked for a better draw, really. Like, you know, because you got, of course, we've got TNS as well, and then they're playing Borat's Banja Luka at home. Those are two other winnable games. It's very conceivable for me that Rovers make it to the knockout stages of this competition, which would be great for the league as a whole. But this is a game I think they have to win. They did very, very well on match day one. I thought they showed a lot of character. I didn't think they would get anything out of the game when they went down to 10 men. but they showed a lot of character to get something out of that. But this is, it's a really vital game to win. I think, because Larne are if you like, the pot six team that Rovers have to play. This is probably. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about TNS. TNS are probably on the same level, but 6 1, half dozen of the other. You could say this is maybe the weakest opposition Rovers have to play.
I
So,
also think Windsor Park might suit Shamrock Rovers a little bit. I think if it was played on Larne's tighter ground, maybe, the fans a bit more on top of them as well, and that type of thing. I think Windsor Park is more akin to Tallaght Stadium, let's say.
Yeah. And as far as European away days go, like there's very few European away days you can talk about where you're actually like you could drive to the away ground. Yeah, so that's very interesting. I mean, it'll probably be great. I mean, look, Rovers fans can let us know if they're going up to it, but it'll be a great game to go to, I'm sure. Very interestingly, they're talking about security concerns at the game. I believe only Rovers season ticket holders were allowed to access away tickets for this game because the PSNI did not want to deal with potential fallout.
Yeah.
Um,
That's why the kickoff's early as well, by the way. Earlier.
I would suspect so, yeah. But yeah, no. Another thing, I mean, I suppose the All Ireland League has kind of died, but it's living on in my imagination, really. So
Same.
I think I'll be looking at this and thinking, well, what if we are to merge with the Irish League? This would be a very good indicator. Another thing as well about having it on Windsor Park is it's going to be. It's like having it on the Aviva. It's going to be a big pitch, it'll hopefully encourage both teams to play a bit of football. Hopefully we'll get a nice game. So yeah, that's really, there's a lot going on with this game, but I'm really, really looking forward to it. Hopefully Rovers will be able to get the win from a League of Ireland perspective, but hope it's just a good game first and foremost.
Yeah, I'd be actually interested to know, particularly if there's any Irish League supporters watching this, would they actually be in favour of a potential All-Ireland League as well? Because I've said it before, where in the Premier Division and the League of Ireland, without getting too far off topic here, that I'd like to see more teams basically in it. And obviously, if you had an All-Ireland League, that opens that up. Do you know what I mean? So I don't want to get too deep into this, but you know what I mean? It does open that up. It gives you more options and more teams, and you're not playing the same team, feeling like you're playing the same team every week. 4 times is an awful lot for me. So I just wondered, with the versatility of it as well, like, would people, maybe Irish League supporters like that too? It'd be interesting to see. But yeah, look, I think, I mean, Shamrock Rovers coming into the game on form, I would say. I know they had the bad defeat at home to Pats, but before that they were getting the results. After that they've gotten the results. They've done well in Europe, as you say. The last game they drew 1-1, and Dylan Watt scored in the last minute after being down to 10 men against a good side. So they'll come into the game with confidence. They've Trevor Clark missing. Might be another player, I can't think. But that's pretty much it for them, which is brilliant. And the options they have, like, you know what I mean? I'd say Jack Byrne, this is the type of game Jack Byrne will relish to play in. If they get him and Watts in midfield, might be too much for Larne. Farouja's playing well. He's fit. We've talked about Johnny Kenny before and the movement he can offer. Apart from the goals, he offers great movement as well. Dara Burns. They've got a lot of threats and got a lot of good players. Notably as well, Jordan McAneff actually plays for Larne as well. He's another player that people will know from League of Ireland circles with Shelbourne and Derry City and that. But I just think Shamrock Rovers probably should have too much for them, Sean. If they play in general the way they've been playing, and it's not going to be easy, I don't think, because they say Larne are going to be up for this and it's home as such. But all things. When you look at everything in terms of pound for pound, you'd have to fancy Shamrock Rovers should be able to go and get the result in this match.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, on form, if both teams play to the best of their ability, I would expect Rovers to come away with the 3 points. I don't think, of course, I don't think they're going to win 4 or 5-0 or anything like that, unless Larne have an awful, just don't turn up. But you'd expect that Rovers would have too much. I mean, particularly, I remember at the start of the season, another player Larne have is Cian Bulger. I remember who there was rumours that he was going to sign for Dundalk at the start of the League of Ireland season. I mean, and of course Dundalk have been relegated. So if that's
Mhm.
the general level of Larne's, I think so. I think okay, it's this is an interesting question. Like if Larne were in the Irish Premier Division, where would they be?
It is
I,
a
I
good
don't
question.
I don't think they win. I think I think they'd be like mid-table. I'd say they'd probably be about as good as I'd say Sligo Rovers
Do you think
right
so?
now, maybe. I think
Mm,
yeah, mid-table.
mm,
I think the best Irish Premiership teams would be sort of mid-table
mm.
Irish Premier
Do
Division
you think they'd
teams.
be stronger than Waterford and Bohemians?
Yeah, I think
Do you think so?
on current form, yeah, I think a lot of teams in the Irish Premiership would be stronger than Waterford on current
Well,
form, to be honest with you. But
yeah, but I'm just saying, if you were to go through like the players, like for, some of
mm,
the players, not going through all the
yeah,
players, but Amond walks in their team up front.
yeah,
Bagley, McDonald,
mm,
players of that have no doubt would get in their team. But to be fair, you know what I mean. A couple of defenders there might get in the Waterford team or whatever. You know what I mean. But look,
yeah,
that's difficult to talk about in general, really. But
mm,
you might have an idea when you watch them play who there might be similar to, that kind of
yeah,
way. And you know,
yeah,
um, Shamrock Rovers have struggled against, obviously Drogheda last week, for example, who are second bottom in the
mm,
league. So that will give Larne a lot of hope as well. So
mm,
it's always a difficult discussion that. But I
mm.
would say this: they wouldn't be champions of the League of Ireland. Put it that way. Larne.
No, no, I don't think so. I mean, I think you look at like a lot of there's some players who go up north who we know about in the League of Ireland, talk about Jordan McAneff and things like that.
Mm,
And Jordan McAneff playing for Derry, he was a good player, but like he wasn't. There's a reason he's not at Derry anymore. I have to say, like
mm,
so that would factor in. Um, I am expecting there to be a good few goals in this. I think
mm.
I think we could end up with 5 or 6 goals in this game.
Ooh,
I think
yes.
because I think the pitch, if particularly if Rovers score early on and Larne have
Mm,
to like come out and try and go after Rovers,
mm,
that'll do it. I think Rovers have an advantage with the pitch. Linfield or Windsor and Tala would have very similar playing surfaces, so that'll definitely suit them. They'll
mhm.
definitely bring a huge away support. Be
Mm.
very interesting to see. Be very interesting to see how much of Windsor Park Larne are capable of filling.
Not only that,
I, I,
Sean, but I'd imagine there'd be
mm,
quite a few. Again, let us know in the comments if you happen to be
mm.
watching Irish League fans attending that game.
I would hope so.
Especially
I
in
certainly would hope so.
Belfast.
Yeah, I would absolutely hope so. I
Yeah.
mean, it'd be interesting. I mean, I know I don't want to get too much into politics, but would there be a sort of a sectarian element of nationalist support in Shamrock Rovers and
Mm.
loyalist support in Larne or whatever?
Maybe, but I
Whatever.
still think there'd be people
Yeah.
even outside of that just as a matter of interest. This could be an interesting game to go and watch. Larne, Shamrock
Mm,
Rovers. We're doing nothing. I know it's a bit early kickoff. That
yeah.
mightn't help in that way with people working
Mm.
and stuff, perhaps. But still, there'd be a lot of people curious, let's say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly. I mean,
Mm,
if it was on in Waterford, let's say, like I definitely go. I'd be very curious to see,
mm,
because we don't see a lot of. I watch keep up with the Irish League highlights, all right,
mm.
and the highlights only tell you they tell you a bit, but they only tell you so much.
Yeah, you don't
So I'd
see
be
the
very
teams
curious.
every week.
I'm definitely going to be watching this game
Mm,
on Thursday and seeing what Larne are really all about.
mm.
And you know, again, it's it's such a huge opportunity for Rovers if they're on 4 points after 2 games. That's a tremendous position to be in
Mm.
with regards to qualifying for the knockout stages. So, I mean, and
You never
as well
know,
as
they
that,
could get to the point where they can rest all their players for the Chelsea match.
yeah, well, to have the well, that's another winnable game by the looks of it so far. So, yeah, they'll definitely be up for that. If they win this one, they'll definitely be able to win that one.
Absolutely, yeah. Brilliant stuff,
Mm.
Sean. Thanks very much for coming on. Guys at home, let us know what you think in the comments. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed before. And once again, thanks for watching.